Yeah, it was funny because so I got the WWE tryout before or after I did the AAA tryout, and then I believe my tryout was in September of that year. I can't remember the year. I think it was 2014. But so I had my tryout in September, and Krista Joseph actually called me prior to that, about maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I had my official tryout. And I told him I told him the situation. Basically, I was like, "Hey, listen, like I have a WWE tryout coming up, and I can't commit to Lucha Underground right now." And to his credit, Krista Joseph was amazing because he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you do the tryout, and if you get signed, you sign with them. If not, call me back, and you know, I'd love to have you on board." So, I went that route, and I kind of thought that was more of a way of him saying, "No, thank you." But so I did the tryout, and then I got my reply from WWE, which it wasn't a no and it wasn't a yes. So I ended up calling Chris back, and to, like I said, to his credit, he picked up the phone on like the third or fourth ring, and we got to talking, and lo and behold, I got brought into Lucha Underground.
Now with WWE, I mean, obviously you said it wasn't a yes, wasn't a no, but you didn't get signed. Was there a reason why you kind of weren't picked up by them?
I don't know the official reason. They did mention that they were trying to bring people on for that new Tough Enough, or I guess it's old now, but like the Tough Enough revival. And I personally just didn't want to do that because, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like I kind of saw the past Tough Enough, and I knew what I could offer or what I could bring to the table, and I thought Tough Enough was like, I didn't want to waste my time on Tough Enough, really.
Well, especially at that point, Tough Enough kind of for guys that aren't, haven't been in the business that long. And at this point, you're probably in the business 5 or 6 years. So I think Tough Enough would also have been a bit of a step down for you as well, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a knock on anybody that did Tough Enough, because like some of my close friends were on a Tough Enough, and they ended up coming over to Lucha Underground with me, so I mean, it helped out some people, but me personally, I don't think it would help me out at all.
True, yeah, Evil East, Son of Havoc, there was a few of them that did do Tough Enough, but it is weird, like, when you look at Matt Cross, it's like, yeah, he probably easily should have won Tough Enough, but obviously, there's more politics involved in that show than I think people realize.
Right, and to be honest, I don't even know who won that Tough Enough that year, so, yeah, so it's just whatever.
That is true. I got to ask this because obviously, it's like the elephant in the room with WWE always being around. If, your contract with Lucha Underground was up or in the future, are you interested at all in the WWE, or is that something you're like, not really too interested in that right now?
I don't know right now, just for the fact that, I mean, to say that you don't want to work for the WWE, like, I think is a bold-faced lie. Like, I'm never going to say I never want to go there. Like, I would love to make a really good living and wrestle and to train at the Performance Center. I mean, good Lord, if I had the access to that Performance Center, it'd be amazing. But, like, as of right now where I'm at, I mean, I'm just enjoying this time right now on the quote unquote independence, just traveling the world, and like when with WWE, you don't get to do that. You can't say, hey, I'm going to take a booking in Ireland, because you have to be at the Performance Center, or you have shows in Tampa or something, so, but it's that give and take relationship of, you're going to get great exposure and a good living, but you have to be with them all the time, and I mean, like I said, at this point, like there's a couple of things I want to do before I even go that route. Like I definitely would like to throw my hand in New Japan and see how I do there. But like people say, you never say never in wrestling. And if it came up, I'd definitely have to sit down and take a good, long, hard look at it and see what's best for me and my family.
It's funny you mentioned New Japan because you might be psychic. That was right on my mind. I'm thinking with your athletic abilities, but also your strength, your agility, I mean, your style, your toughness, I feel like you in New Japan would be a very perfect fit.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely love to go there. I don't have the height of some of their big bruiser guys like Dr. Death or Gary Albright, but, definitely have that background. So, I would love to see it. I would love to try it out there and see what happens.
Two pretty lofty, gaijins, quote unquote, Gary Albright and also one, and obviously Dr. Death, one of the all-time greats. So this, it's pretty big shoes to fill as far as gaijins heading over to Japan.
Well, it's a good goal setter,
Oh, absolutely. And then also your background, I probably should have mentioned this earlier kind of in the intro, but 2004 Olympic wrestler as well. That's a pretty impressive background to have. Pretty good to have on the old resume.
Oh, definitely. And I would hope that New Japan notices that so they could be more receptive on taking a chance on me.
Definitely. And with that background and being in the Olympics and being an Olympic wrestler, how did you make the transition from going from the Olympics, the amateur style of wrestling, into the pro wrestling world?
It wasn't that bad. I like the physical side of it was fun because when I started pro wrestling, I just graduated college, so I just finished college wrestling and I was in really good shape. So the physical aspect of it was the running the ropes, the cardio, and the running the ropes and the squats and whatnot. Like that was fine for me. Like it was the learning of the psychology of wrestling and all those things, and selling and registering. Like those kind of things are the ones that I had trouble with and had to learn.
Was it something you always wanted to do? Did you always want to be a pro wrestler?
Oh yeah, definitely. As long as I could remember.